In a quiet town nestled between green hills and winding roads in Vermont, lived a boy named Lucas Hale. At 14, he was what some called the quiet genius, sharp-minded, observant, but withdrawn. His world was his room, a dusty old computer, and the unending scroll of social media. Instagram, TikTok, Reddit. Lucas devoured it all. He knew what trend was blowing up before anyone else, but when it came to school, his grades were average. His teachers said he had potential. His parents nodded, but no one really saw Lucas, not the real him. One rainy Thursday afternoon, Lucas lay sprawled on his bed, eyes locked on his phone. Video after video blurred past. One clip ended with the caption, "People who don't read books will always be controlled by those who do." He scoffed. What kind of cringe quote is that, he thought. But for some reason, he didn't scroll. Instead, he stared at it. Something about the quote felt uncomfortable, true, even. He clicked on the account that posted it at Brainfuel Daily. It was a small page with just a few thousand followers, but unlike other accounts, it didn't post flashy dances or loud drama. It posted curiosity. Did you know dopamine spikes during curiosity, the same way it does in social media scrolling? Why are kids in Finland the happiest and top-performing students? Neuroscience hacks to love studying. Lucas didn't mean to, but he clicked on one, then another, and another. That night, his mom noticed he wasn't watching YouTube. At dinner, "Everything okay, honey?" she asked. Lucas nodded. "Yeah, just thinking." His mother smiled. "About what?" "Nothing." He shrugged, but the quote echoed again. "Those who don't read will be controlled by those who do." That weekend, he found himself Googling, "Why is social media so addictive?" He fell into a rabbit hole. Algorithms, dopamine, intermittent rewards, and suddenly, it wasn't just about scrolling. It was about understanding. For the first time in years, Lucas wasn't absorbing content like a sponge, he was dissecting it like a scientist. The school with the secret Lucas wasn't the only one changing. Across the country in Bristol, England, a 13-year-old girl named Sarah had stopped using her phone after 8 p.m. voluntarily. Her parents nearly fainted. But Zara had stumbled across the same account at Brainfuel Daily and was now journaling her thoughts every night. "It's like my brain wants me to do more than scroll," she whispered to her cat. And in Toronto, Canada, a retired teacher named Mr. Jenkins found the account too. It inspired him to do something daring, start a free after-school program at the public library. He called it Scroll Less, Learn More. But back in Vermont, Lucas had no idea that a quiet storm was building. The unexpected mentor afternoon after school. Lucas wandered into the town's old library. It was mostly empty except for a new display. "Digital Minds, Real Learning." Curious, Lucas picked up a flyer. "Want to train your brain the way social media trains your habits? Join us. Learn how to hack your dopamine and fall in love with learning. Mentor sessions, Fridays at 4 p.m. That Friday, Lucas showed up, not knowing what to expect. He walked into a cozy corner of the library. There were beanbags, brain puzzles, and a circle of 5 students all his age. In the center sat a young man in a hoodie and thick glasses. "Hey," the man said, grinning. "I'm Eli. I used to be addicted to TikTok. Now I'm addicted to thinking. Welcome to Brain Hack Club." Lucas laughed. "That's a weird name. You'll get used to it." Eli replied, "Today, I want you all to try something radical. We're going to simulate the dopamine loop that social media gives you, but with learning." He handed everyone a mystery envelope. "Open it. Inside is a mini puzzle. If you solve it, you get a dopamine hit." Lucas frowned. "That's dumb." "Exactly. So is scrolling. But we still do it, right? Let's try something different." The puzzle gamma. Lucas opened his envelope. It read, "You're trapped in a room with 2 doors. One leads to freedom, one to certain doom. 2 guards stand beside them. One always lies, the other always tells the truth. You can ask one question. What do you ask?" He'd seen this riddle before. It buzzed something inside his brain, a flicker of memory, a thrill. 10 minutes passed, then it clicked. "I'd ask either guard. If I asked the other guard which door leads to freedom, what would he say? Then I'd go the opposite way." Eli beamed. "Boom. Dopamine spike. Same pleasure loop, only you earned it." "How do you feel?" Lucas blinked. He wasn't sure what the feeling was, but it felt good. Better than scrolling. Maybe even proud. From learner to letter. Weeks passed. Lucas kept returning. He invited a friend, then 2. They built a leaderboard for solving puzzles, then trivia nights, then coding mini games. Suddenly, school wasn't just school anymore. It was an extension of their curiosity. They created a private Discord channel, Brain Fuel Underground. Hundreds of teens began joining from all over: London, Ottawa, Chicago, Birmingham. Some of them used to be scroll zombies. Now, they were learning about neuroplasticity, memory techniques, digital fasting, even startup ideas. One girl from Manchester messaged, "This is the first time I've liked myself in years. Not because I look pretty on Instagram, but because I feel smart." And Lucas realized, maybe the key to making learning addictive was kindness. Kindness to your brain, kindness to yourself, kindness to your attention. The bigger mission on night. Eli gathered them all. "Guys," he said, "we've built a community, but there are millions of kids out there still lost in scroll. What if we change that? What if you change that?" Lucas raised an eyebrow. "How?" "By doing what social media does best except better. We make learning trend, micro-content, mystery reels, bite-sized curiosity, daily dopamine for the brain, but from knowledge, not noise." The room was silent, then someone clapped, then more. And Lucas, the boy who once couldn't stop scrolling, stood up. "Let's make learning addictive. Not by force, not by fear, but by fascination." The transformation of Lucas Hale didn't happen overnight. But once it began, it spread like fire, quiet, steady, and unstoppable. After that unforgettable day at the Learning Lab where he experienced AI, virtual labs, and gamified education in a way that made learning feel like TikTok level dopamine, Lucas had been changed. He returned home, mind buzzing, heart pounding with the thrill of what else could learning feel like. And with that question, he made a promise to himself. If social media can be addictive, why can't learning be the same? What if I make it happen? The idea that lit the world. Lucas wasn't just thinking about himself anymore. He thought of Olivia, his classmate who felt stupid because she couldn't remember historical dates. He thought of Marcus, who hated math because the classroom made him anxious. He thought of thousands of kids like him scrolling, liking, watching, but not really growing. So he did what every curious kid eventually does. He started to build Project Learn Loop, called it Learn Loop. It started with a simple idea. What if learning looked, felt, and rewarded you like TikTok or Instagram? He sketched a layout on paper, short bursts of learning like 30-second videos, XP points, and levels like a game, daily streaks, and achievement badges, AI-powered personalized quizzes, a global leaderboard, but only for kindness and helping others learn. And the best part? A feed that showed mini kindness stories every day from kids around the world. How someone helped a friend study, how a teacher went the extra mile, or how a grandmother taught baking and chemistry at the same time. Lucas didn't code everything himself. He found open source tools, asked Reddit communities for help, and even reached out to Ethan Rhodes, the man who first invited him to the Learning Lab. Ethan was impressed. "Lucas," he said, smiling over a video call, "you didn't just learn to leading. Let's get you some mentors." The kindness engine. Lucas added one more key idea to Learn Loop: a kindness engine. Every time a student helped someone, explained a concept, encouraged a peer, or donated old books, the system would track it, not to brag, but to celebrate it. Students could earn kindness stars, and the platform would share inspiring stories across the world. Imagine if feed were instead of viral pranks. You see a 13-year-old in Manchester teaching coding to his younger sister, or a 10-year-old in Toronto explaining fractions using pancakes. It was learning, but powered by heart. This became the soul of Learn Loop. Spreading the spark, it didn't take long. Lucas launched Learn Loop first in his school. The reaction? 25% more kids started finishing their homework. Test scores went up. Students were logging into Learn Loop more than their social media apps. Word spread. First, the district noticed. Then, schools in Oregon, Texas, London, and even Toronto asked, "How did this happen?" Lucas was invited to speak virtually at first at schools and conferences. He wasn't the best public speaker, but his passion spoke louder than any slides. A new generation of learners in less than a year. Learn Loop had 100,000 users across the USA, UK, and Canada. What was most remarkable? It didn't make kids addicted to screens. It redirected their time towards something nourishing. Kids weren't just memorizing, they were reflecting, building, and sharing. And each day, the platform started with a kindness story of the day. A short 60-second story with gentle music and soft narration. One day it might be about a girl with dyslexia who created flashcards for her whole class. Another day, it might be about a retired teacher in Nova Scotia who recorded math lessons for rural kids. Or, sometimes, it featured Lucas, himself, a boy who was once addicted to scrolling, who now built a platform that helped millions grow.